So the next tool that we're looking at right now is awk, and I have a bunch of commands for this one because I think that this one is going to be very useful in this particular assignment. So you can translate these commands into, a new context here. So let's go ahead and clear our terminal. And what is awk? So let's take a look at what awk is. Of course, we need to look at the man pages for awk. It's a pattern-directed scanning and processing language. So awk scans each input file for lines that match any set of patterns specified literally and in program or in one or more files as F program file specified, right? So with each pattern, there can be an associated action that will be performed when a line of a file matches the pattern. So something interesting about this is that awk is actually its own programming language. So it's a text processing tool, but you're going to find that awk kind of has the most powerful amount of tools here in all of the tools that we're talking about, because it's got, we have substring, that's one we're going to take a look at. You have random number generator, length, split. I mean, you have so many different cool options with awk. You have flags, and then down here you have examples. So I encourage you to get into the man pages and take a look at what you have available here. All right, as usual, let's take a look at our file here. So we have grades.csv. The first search that we're going to do is filter by subject. So let's go ahead and start talking about what we want to use to do that. So of course we use the name of our tool. Then we're going to use the F flag. So the F flag tells us the delimiter that we want to use, and clearly we want to use a comma delimiter. Then we're going to use the NR flag, and now this one, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we listed our command line tool, and then we have our delimiter. Now we want to put our program in there. So we want to put our program between two single quotes. So we're going to use this NR flag here to specify that we want to include our header. And so what we're going to say is NR, so row number, equals 1. And then we're going to say print that, and then anything else that it has that's included there. And then we're going to say I want column 2. So that's how we specify our columns, with that number sign and the number. So I want column 2. And again, what are we looking for? We're filtering by subject, or I'm saying filtering, subject. We're filtering by subject. So we're saying if 2 equals math, then we want to print. Okay. And then we're going to specify our input file and go ahead and click enter. And so there we go. Now we have all of the input, including our first line, that has math, that had math in it, or all of the rows that had math in it. All right, so the next one, let's filter by condition. So this is going to be a similar search. I mean, it's really the same search. We're just using a slightly different condition. But just to see how you can apply it in a couple of different ways. So right here, we just looked for the subject. So say you were wanting to filter by, look for all the executable files, right? So something like that, versus look for all of the, that are all of the records that are, file only. I'm just saying, for example, in your program, how you could use this search similarly. So we would use, in this one, we're looking again for, we're looking for a comma separated, and then we're going to use that. We still want our header row. Okay, and then instead of our column 4 or 2, we're going to go column 4, and we're going to say if it says true, looking for an exact string match still, even though true is a Boolean value, we're only looking for strings here in this program. Okay, whoops, don't forget to close it off. Grades. Okay, so there we have all of them that are true. So again, we're having, it's the same type of search, just different conditions. Say we want to convert our comma separated value file into a tab separated value file, okay? So let's do our awk command. We are again going to use our F to specify delimiter. We're going to use our double quotes or single quotes for a our program. And then we're going to say so what is begin? Begin is a special pattern that designates a block of code to be executed once before any input record is read or processed. So it's used to initialize variables such as output field separators. So we're saying that we want to specify an output field separator. Whoop, hit enter on accident. Let's go ahead and clear that and start over. So we have our program name, our delimiter, and now we're saying begin output field separator. We're specifying that we want a tab. Okay, so we're basically, all this is saying is that we want to give ourselves a new delimiter. All right, so still in our program, we're going to choose to print all of our columns. So we're going to say column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3, comma, and column 4. And then don't forget to close off your program and choose your input file. There we go. So now we have everything having its own, or having a new way to a new delimiter, excuse me. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you with this one is that you can actually output this to a new file. So if you want to use your redirect, you can say grades.tsv now if you want to. So let's list, so it's cat grades.tsv. You can see that now that output is in its own new file.